Welcome to Gray Overload, and this is kind of humorous. Jim Keller, he was poking fun at Nvidia for how much they spent on Blackwell, which Nvidia says that they spent $10 billion on Blackwell. And Jim Keller he said it should have only cost 1 billion, or basically saying you could save billions just by the interconnect method. And in his tweet, he just shows the chip broken in two and says Ethernet, right? Um, and this is interesting in a multitude of reasons. One is, Jim Keller is more, what, 10 Storm is what the CEO he is now. The company has been at, AMD, Intel. He's been all over the place, right? And he's really helped innovate CPUs and designs, etc. out there. And I'm sure that he's going to have some innovation out there as well. But he's also a big proponent of open source. So he's got these innovative designs, and he's a big fan of keeping standards open. And here NVLink is, where it does have some advantages, right? NVIDIA does have a stronghold in the market, but it really doesn't help out the industry itself, right? It's very proprietary. And Jim's looking at this like you could have just saved billions by just the interconnect method alone. And that's a choice that NVIDIA makes, but it's also a problem where you can have, open source side of things, where the open source, or the open standard, I should say, has maybe not all the bells and whistles that your proprietary solution has, but it can save a lot of money, and you can get pretty close to just the speed with certain developments or certain, processes or whatever else that you do on your end with your device. And I think that's what Jim's kind of getting at here. He goes, we can kind of use some of these open standards, kind of improve, work on them, maybe improve them where they need to be improved upon. But if we develop our IP around it, then other IP can be utilized in that same workflow quite easily. Whereas if you were to go to proprietary side, you would then need to have that proprietary hookups and everything else in order to get everything to work properly. And people would need access to the proprietary stuff if you wanted to hook, let's say, a third party in, which I don't think anyone ever or NVIDIA is ever going to allow. And so I agree with Jim. I think that he's on the right path. We've talked about this in other videos about, ROCm, and then also one API from Intel. Both of those approaches are more open, and I like seeing that. I never thought that Intel would get that open with one API as they seem like they're doing, which I'm quite impressed with, and allowing other partners to get in. And let's say Jim's company wants to also, Tenstorm wants to come in there and work with one API. I'd like to see AMD kind of do that. I know AMD's kind of just like open source but I like to see them kind of, combine, or even have, a way to, on each one, to load in the third-party libraries, and you have this huge subset of stuff and on one, ROCm or one API that you're able to access, AMD, Intel's, Qualcomm, Google's, Tenstorm, whatever application or whatever hardware there is for whatever application you want. I think that would be really kind of cool. So it is interesting what is going on here, how Jim's kind of poking fun. But then again, Jim is an outside the box thinker. It seems like he's very innovative. I think that Nvidia is going, they're trying to go for control over everything, and that's kind of their history, right? One reason why I think the ARM purchase failed is how Nvidia has had the control mechanisms in the past, and a lot of countries were like, I don't know if I want to jump on board with that. I don't know if I want to have that, and basically eliminate an architecture for everybody else unless you're using 100% Nvidia or whatever that we're going to do. And so this is, it was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought, hey, this might be a nice, fun, short video. What do you think about Jim's comments here about Nvidia saving billions in R&D if they just change the interconnect. um, Let me know in the comments below. And I want to thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. It really does help out, all your support, hitting the bell icon, liking, sharing, subscribing, and watching another one of my videos really does help out the channel. I know it's been a little bit here on in between videos. I will pick up that speed. I've been trying to build a swing set for my kids, and it's getting pretty well done, so I'll be back in there. So I was finishing up some yard work too. Well, it's been really nice here in Wisconsin finally, so I do appreciate that. But until next time, God bless.